Welcome back to some, just the camera a bit there. Let me wake up. Welcome back to some more tarot stuff. I'm sorry I lost the run of myself in that last video, but anyway, one of the most beautiful things about the tarot is its inherent magic in the archetypes telling a story. Now, one of the reasons the Rider-Waite deck has endured for so long and is still so greatly loved is not only the fact that the images are simple, they give you the underlying meaning of the cards, but they're also vague as well. They're vague enough to tell other things and show other things, okay? Now, let me give you an example of one of them that exists within the sword suite. Now, I made this video earlier on, but I really needed an extra card so to make it complete. So now, you don't have to necessarily think in terms of progression. Remember, the tarot deals with the subconscious mind, and it's read backwards and forwards. It's not trapped in the same time-space continuum that our cognition is. So, having said that, let's look at the Seven of Swords. And we have a fellow who's raided a camp and taken 5 of the 7 swords, and this is very significant. 2 has been left behind, and he has a smirk on his face looking back at the camp, but what he doesn't see in the distance here is a bunch of guys who have spotted him, and they're out to pursue him, but he's not aware of them. So this is the card of the failed plan. Someone who had a plan to manipulate or have some other thing that was not concerned with their welfare, was done entirely for selfish means. This is the card that it blows up. Also, if you have been tormented by guilt regarding something you did and got away with, this is the card of admit it now because it'll be worse later. That's what that is. It's a very powerful card, that is. Now, he got away with 5 swords. Now, if you look at the art, you'll notice that one of the swords, the handle is broken, and this suggests the inherent, should we say, karmic justice within this act of stealing, this plan, this dastardly conspiracy. Okay. Now, he's got 5 swords. What do the 5 of swords represent? Well, failure and defeat. See, very clever how they've done this. And so the swords are, the guy pursues after it, goes to his camp. Someone goes to his camp and defeats his army and gets 3 of the swords back. And this is always the card of the defeat. Always the card of defeat. That's what this is. Now the Crowley deck, the Thoth deck, has a fantastic image of this as a circle of 5 swords bent, and it's dark green like stagnant muddy water. Now this guy is left 2 swords on the ground, and a New Age website say, oh, well, that means that there's a chance for them to run and take it up, but they're walking away. The 2 swords on the ground is very significant because that gives us the 2 of swords. Now the 2 of swords is truce. The 2 of swords is when the hostilities are balanced and seeing both sides. Now in a romantic relationship, it can mean a woman who's just trying to decide between 2 men. And that's why it has these themes of isolation and blindness, because it's about the mind. You see, so the 7 of swords, the action is in the real world. Okay, the conspiracy takes place in the real world. The battle that loses the conspiracy likewise takes place in the real world. But because the moon is in the sky, the 2 of swords represents the theater of the mind, the theater of the consciousness, and that's not fought with material things. It's fought with psychological and spiritual things, and that's also why the crescent moon is up on that card. And that's just an example of how the tarot and the Rider-Waite deck and other decks as well, but I don't do it. I'll show you my other deck in a little while. That's why I don't do a lot of decks, because really this was like this is my first love, and it's remains so. So I'm loyal to this deck for that reason, because this is the deck that, like millions and millions of people all over the world, it instructed us and educated us on the tarot, but it still remains so relevant and vital because its simplicity is beautiful, but within that simplicity is remarkable complexity. So look after yourselves and